Whether it's words, actions, or maybe a bit of both, we all regret things. Sometimes we act based upon emotion, and instant regret is usually what comes right after. Like when you say something stupid or offensive and you don't realize it until it's too late and the damage is already done. It's happened a few times on my channel where I get so frustrated with myself that I react harshly without taking a step back and thinking about my possible actions and their consequences. There are many edits that you'll never see that are a result of that. Over the years, I've come up with hundreds of concepts, storyboards, and themes that have never seen the light of day because I quickly gave up on them out of frustration. Not necessarily due to Halo's issues, but because I had trouble putting them on paper and following through with them into a complete video. Other times I also just rush videos because I feel like getting them out there as soon as possible. Perfect example of that was Phoenix 1 and I forget the name of the montage, Inertia. Those are probably the two montages that I regret making the most. However, there are indeed times where Halo was the reason. This was the case with Blood Moon, when I seriously considered just quitting, and Divergence, when I actually did quit. Halo 5 specifically. But saying that Divergence was my final Halo 5 edit was, without a doubt, my biggest regret on this channel. The truth is, I overreact too much. I make decisions, then realize how stupid they are a few moments later. I pushed Halo 5 away, only to realize how much I needed Halo 5. Most people might not realize it, but I trapped myself. Halo 5 is the most feature-rich or technologically advanced Halo for editing. You have green screen, depth of field if you know how to use it, slow motion animations, 60 FPS, Forge. Forge alone makes Halo 5 editing better than all other Halo editing. And just to clarify, I'm not talking about montage editing or anything. I'm talking about my type of cinematic edits. Like, I couldn't use Forge in previous Halos. The fact that I can build detailed environments and script anything I want in Forge provides me with an infinite amount of possibilities for those very concepts, storyboards, and themes, as I mentioned earlier. With Halo 5 Forge, I'm finally able to put those ideas on paper into a video, something I was never able to do with previous Halos. But I was so stubbornly focused on my hatred for montaging in Halo 5 and my hatred for theater that I took everything else for granted and just ignored it. That is why I feel trapped. I don't want to go back to previous Halo games because the amount of ideas that I can execute upon is limited, and there wouldn't be as much passion and creativity if I made a Halo 3 or Halo 4 edit, for example, because I know that I can do better with Halo 5. Oppositely, I can't go back to Halo 5 because when Divergence was released, I said that it was my final Halo 5 edit. If I were to make another Halo 5 edit, that would just make me a hypocrite. You know, we've all heard about the YouTubers who say they're quitting or taking a long break from everything only to see them tweeting and making videos the next day. I've always tried to be careful to not contradict myself and sound like a hypocrite because I never wanted to be like those people who say one thing and then do another. There are times when I do slip up and end up contradicting myself, but at the same time, the me from a year ago, or a few months ago, isn't the me today. People change, opinions change. This reminds me of some guy who tweeted at me a while ago saying that I'm always praising Halo one day, then hating on it the next day or something like that. Well, sure, I love things about Halo just as much as I hate things about it. I can love the free-for-all from release date and hate the current free-for-all. I can love playing custom games but hate how 343 still hasn't acknowledged or fixed the bug that allows like 20 players to join your lobby even though it's locked at 4. That doesn't make me a hypocrite. What would make me one is saying I'm quitting Halo 5 editing, then making a Halo 5 edit right after. Because of this situation I'm in, I've been relying on Mind of an Editor and streaming to keep my channel alive. I've basically degraded to lazy content. Like, it doesn't take any effort to flip a switch and let others watch you while you play video games or sit down and talk into a microphone for a few minutes. Lately, there hasn't been any passion, effort, or creativity. At this point, I don't know where my channel is going. I'm just aimlessly drifting. And it's a long way from Halo 6.